Hey guys, it's Ann popping back on live behind my apron, and this is kind of take two, so if you saw me for a few seconds before, I'm sorry. Someone came to the door, I had to stop, so here I am back again. This afternoon I decided to make one of my favorite cookies, and so you have to know the backstory because I've created this recipe. It's not perfect yet, I'm still working on it, but when I was a student at Iowa State, the favorite cookie place was called Dough Biz Cookies, and I absolutely loved their garbage great cookies, and they have since gone out of business. So I have worked really hard to try to recreate it, and I was making them today, and I thought, oh my gosh, I might as well come on live and tell you guys about them. Plus, I'm using absolutely my favorite new baby, the stand mixer from Pampered Chef. And I just added the oatmeal to the dough when I thought about talking about this to all of you guys. So let me just kind of tell you, it's kind of a chocolate chip cookie base. It's brown sugar, eggs, flour, vanilla, baking soda, salt. We're gonna add M&Ms, pecans, coconut, oatmeal, and some chocolate chips. And I tell you what, I have my favorite things out that I bake cookies with. So at least I can show you that. But I also should tell you that like the first step was to take the brown sugar and the eggs and the butter. That's the step I forgot to tell you. And I set it to the beat setting because you can go to the screen here and I think you'll be able to see the light moving. You probably can't see it close enough. But I just went down to the beat setting and it's a pre-2-minute setting and I just hit start and it took off, and I'll just do it now so you can kind of hear the noise, and it will start the mixing for you. And remember, the other thing that's really cool, and I'll just stop it so we don't have the noise, is that the spatula has a scraper on the side, so you're not having to stick your spatula in there to clean it up. But we're gonna mix the rest of that oatmeal in the dough. And I've already added the vanilla, but I wanted to tell you because I saw this is still in our outlet on sale. If you're a baker, I think Pampered Chef has the best double strength Madagascar vanilla on the market, and it is just delicious for baking. So grab yourself a bottle or two. So I've already put that in. I use the food chopper when I'm dealing with nuts. So I have some pecans here. So I'm just gonna give it a few chops. And then just a little secret to remember too, the cap holds about 1/2 cup. So I'm just putting in those chopped pecans and I'll give it a little bit of a push. And I want about 3/4 cup of pecans. So I'm just gonna take a few more pecans out of my bag here. And I'll just chop them with the food chopper. And you can pick the unit up like I did, or you can actually take it apart at the collar. And this is your blade protector. And it opens up to throw it in the dishwasher. And every time you pop up and down, the blades spin, as you can see me doing right here. That is what gives you such an even chop. So if you're doing anything from onions to celery to carrots or pecans, like I'm doing for the cookie recipe, just add those in. And then the last thing that I am going to do is we're gonna add some coconut. You can always release this and bring up the spatula if you wanted to, but I'm gonna add about 3/4 cup of coconut. And I'll put those in and I'll mix those until they're well blended. And then the last two things I will do is add the 3/4 cup of M&Ms and 3/4 cup of chocolate chips. And then I am a stoneware baking fan. I always bake cookies on a stoneware sheet. So look at my rectangular stoneware piece. Look at how old and brown it is. The uglier they look, the better they cook. But if you have a pizza stone shape, you can bake your cookies on a pizza stone. You can do a bar pan, but I have several of this shape, and this is what I make my cookies on. And then when the cookie company was in business in Ames, they were always kind of like monster cookie size. So I have found I prefer the large scoop from our scoop line. We have 4 sizes now, but I prefer this one to be able to get kind of that monster cookie size. So I will just scoop out the dough. I will put it on my stoneware sheet, and I will bake them in the oven for about 11 minutes. And I'll let it set on the stone for a minute before I move it to the cooling rack. So that's my afternoon, making some garbage great cookies to share with people. I'm curious if you guys are baking something today, drop it in the comments below. Or when you like to bake a treat for somebody, like what's your favorite treat to make or bake? If you're a baker, let me know. Is it cake, cheesecake, cupcakes? It's really fun to know that. And it's even more fun if you share the recipe with us. So if you would do that in the comments below, I would be thrilled to have that information and to share it with friends. And as always, feel free to share this to your timeline. You know, I do draw for some prizes and send out some happy mail and thank you mail quite often to my people helping my small business on social media. So see you soon.